Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. And me and my husband Ed both live a keto low carb lifestyle. And for the month of November, I am doing a Keto 101 series, just talking about the basics of how to do keto, some information on keto, some tips and tricks that have worked for me over the past 2 years being on a ketogenic diet. It is now a lifestyle for me. I don't call it a diet anymore because I've experienced a lot of health benefits from being on a keto diet. You can watch my health update videos. I have a recent one that I did at my 2-year mark, and that was just about a month or so ago. And just a lot of great things have happened. I plan on eating this way for the long term. And so I'm just sharing some of my tips and tricks that have worked for me. I like to say when I do these kind of videos where I'm giving out information that I am not a doctor and I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a nutritionist. I did take a small coaching program where I learned some different things about the ketogenic diet and the carnivore diet. And I'm a certified nutrition coach now, but I'm not like a licensed nutritionist. I want you to check with your own doctors, do your own research, all of that. This is just my experience that I'm sharing with you. So today we had an interesting topic over in our Facebook group. We have a very nice Facebook group that a lot of people love. We have over 9,000 members in our Facebook group now. And it's just a great group. And a lot of people in our group have said that they are in a lot of groups on Facebook, and there's none like Low Carb Revelation, because we just don't allow drama. We don't allow any kind of bullying or rudeness. We just aren't going to tolerate that. We want everybody to be encouraging to one another and help one another in this journey, as we are all in this together and we can all glean from each other. And that's why I wanted to start this group. And everybody is saying they just love it and it is a great place to be. So anyways, this morning we were talking about, somebody asked a question about sweeteners. And so I decided that my 101 today would be on sweeteners. And I'm also going to be talking about busting a stall. If you're at a weight loss like plateau or a stall, you've stopped losing weight, I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But first I want to talk about sweeteners. I'm going to do 2 topics today because the sweeteners topic I don't feel is it's going to be really quick. And so I'm just going to share with you what that is. My doggy Sapphira's back here sleeping behind me. Also, it's a little dark outside today. It's thunderstorming. So if it seems dark in here, that is why. And also, if you see glitter on my face or in my hair, I decorated yesterday for Christmas. It was a little bit early, but me and Ed, we're just up here homebound, and I thought that it would bring some happiness and cheer to the house. And I put up 2 Christmas trees yesterday, and I decorated this staircase and just, brought out all my little Christmas things. And my kids may be coming up for Thanksgiving, and I wanted it all decorated for them for when they come up, if it works out. Because of Ed's surgery, we're still not sure. We go to the doctor tomorrow, and we'll find out from the surgeon when his surgery date is. So help us pray about that. But depending on when his surgery is, if everything works out okay, they're going to come up for Thanksgiving. I haven't seen my grandkids in about a month or so, which is a very long time for me because I'm very actively involved in my grandkids' lives. I have 4 grandsons, if you don't know, and they are all under the age of 7. And I just miss them so much. So I got excited yesterday and I went around the house and I decorated. And so I'm a little glittery today. There's glitter everywhere around the house. We have a cathedral ceiling in our living room, and I have this 12-foot Christmas tree that I got from Sam's Club. I got the best deal on this Christmas tree. It was after Christmas a couple of years ago, and I got this pre-lit 12-foot Christmas tree for like $180. It was like one of those things. It was right after Christmas. They only had a couple left, and I snatched it, and it is perfect in our living room. And I'll show you a picture right here. But I put that thing together by myself yesterday on a ladder. Ed was very nervous watching me. He does all of that stuff usually for me, and I'm the one, standing below the ladder and handing him things. But he was very nervous, and in the picture you will see I have no shoes on. He made me put shoes on. So anybody that wants to comment about that, I did put shoes on after he took those pictures of me up there, but I did it all by myself and I was very proud of myself. I would have never been able to do that 2 years ago when I was pre-keto. It was heavier for one thing, but the joint pain that I had, I would not have been able to get up on that ladder. I felt very flexible and very strong hiking those things up on the ladder. I really don't think I'll ever do it again, but who knows? I told Ed that the Christmas decorations will stay up until he's able to help me take them down, which might be spring. We don't know. So anyways, that's the whole spiel about any glitter that you might see going on. You may not see it at all, but anyways, I want to talk to you about sweeteners and what is the deal about sweeteners and sweeteners that have carb counts on them. How are we supposed to figure them into our daily carb counts and all of that? They're natural sweeteners that are derived from natural sources. The ones that I use don't typically spike your insulin, like allulose, for instance, has. I'm not even sure about the carb count and the serving because I don't count it. I think it's like 4 grams of carbs per whatever the serving is. I might be wrong on that. Here's the thing on sweeteners. The reason why I don't count sweeteners as carbs is because those carbs are different than the other carbs that we eat. They don't metabolize in your body. Your body can't store those kind of carbs, so it just basically goes right through us. That is what I've been taught in the courses that I took for coaching. And so you just basically disregard the carb counts on those sweeteners. The sweeteners that I like to use are, I like to use monk fruit. I like the taste of monk fruit. To me, there is not a strong aftertaste to monk fruit. I do use the monk fruit that has the erythritol in it. I've used the Lakanto brand. I like the Lakanto brand. I like how it tastes. So I buy granulated monk fruit, I buy powdered monk fruit, and I buy brown monk fruit, which is like the brown sugar. And what they do is they put like a vegetable glycerin into the brown sweetener and it makes it sticky like brown sugar, like the traditional brown sugar. And it packs down just like traditional brown sugar does. So I use the brown sweetener in instances where you would use brown sugar in baking in that. I use the granular monk fruit in my baking, just like you would use white sugar in baking. It is cup for cup. The measurements are the same. So if you are wanting to change up a recipe that has regular sugar in it, you can just measure out monk fruit the same way. I like the powdered monk fruit for making glazes and for, sprinkling it on top of baked goods to use to have that like powdered sugar effect. Okay. So that's the way I like to use monk fruit. Now, allulose. I love allulose. Allulose is not super sweet. It is great in a lot of items, but listen to really closely to this one because from my experience, I have ruined a few desserts and had to just toss it and lose all of those ingredients because I used allulose in some desserts that I shouldn't have. So allulose works great in my ice cream recipe. It's over on my website. It keeps the ice cream soft. Even when you freeze it, you can scoop it out. It also works good in the egg white bread or any kind of like muffins or like angel food cake or anything like that you want to make that's going to be soft. But if you want to make something crispy, like a cookie or a pizzelle, that's what I did. I ruined my pizzelle recipe. I have that over on my website as well. It's a great little cookie for the holidays. I recommend not making them all year round because they are addictive and you will just want to sit and eat and eat and eat. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. I used allulose in my pizzelle recipe and normally it comes out really crispy when I use the granular monk fruit. Well, they were soft and pliable because allulose keeps things soft. And then stevia. I love the stevia flavored drops. I have a whole collection. I have the English toffee, I have the chocolate, I have the coconut, pumpkin spice. I have a whole bunch of different flavors of stevia drops that I like to put in my coffee. I like to also put it in my drinks, like if I'm making tea or something like that, and I want it to have a little flavor with it too. So you don't have to worry about counting the carbs in sweeteners. So that's a great thing, right? But here's where people overdo it with the sweet treats or desserts on keto, on a keto diet. So it's not the sweeteners in the recipe that is causing you a stall or causing you to maybe even gain some weight. It's the overuse of the other ingredients that are in the sweeteners that are the problem. Like a lot of keto sweeteners are made with almond flour and coconut flour, and there are different ingredients that are used in keto sweets and desserts that can cause you to have a weight loss stall. So if you are a person who cannot control yourself around sweets, I highly recommend either making, if you want something sweet, a mug cup recipe that you make in the microwave and it only makes one, or if you're making a recipe that is a big recipe, cut it down to where you're only making just a few, because you can have a weight loss stall or even gain weight from eating keto treats. And again, it's not from the sweeteners, it's from the ingredients that are used in the sweet treats. So keep in mind when you are making sweet treats or you're buying sweet treats that there are those ingredients in there that can be causing you to have a stall. And while I'm on that subject, I'm going to talk about breaking a stall. I have my little notebook here, and I'm going to throw on my glasses because I can't see a thing without my glasses. So first of all, when you are experiencing a weight loss stall or a plateau, or you're just not losing weight on your keto diet, you feel like you're eating the right way, and you are just at a standstill with your weight loss. So what I recommend, first of all, is making sure that you are not just relying on the scale as your guide for your weight loss, because the scale doesn't always tell the true story. The truest way to tell is when you start out on this way of eating, or if you didn't do this in the beginning and you're in the middle of doing this at any point in your keto diet. If you have not done this, start doing this today. Make a journal, write down your body measurements, measure your neck, measure your arms, your chest, your waist, your hips, your thighs, and record that. And then write down the date on those measurements of when you took those measurements. And then every month or so, check your measurements again, write down the date and the measurements again, and just follow that. And also another way is the obvious, and that is on how your clothes are fitting. Now, women, I'm going to talk to women here for a second. Women typically do not eat enough protein. And then when we go on to this way of eating, we're eating a lot more protein than I know I am, because when 2 years ago, before I started this, I ate a lot of salads. I ate grains. I ate things that I thought at that time was healthy for me because that's what my rheumatologist told me to eat, and it ended up not helping me. But I didn't eat a whole lot of protein. I didn't eat eggs. And now that I'm eating all of this protein, my body is absorbing all of that protein. It's like, where have you been all of my life? And it's just like sucking it all in. Well, the protein goes to your muscles, and it helps to build your muscle mass. It helps protect your lean muscle mass. Protein is very important. It's very important to hit your protein goals every day. So you may be adding to your body by eating more protein, and that will show on the scale as either your body's maintaining and staying the same weight, or your body composition is just changing and your inches are leaving your body, but it's just not showing it on the scale. because that protein is sticking to all the muscles. That's the way I like to look at it. It's just clinging to the muscles and it's making them strong. And so that could be a reason why you are stalled. You might not be stalled. The protein might just be going to all the areas in your body that has been needing it for so long and clinging to it. And that will show on the scale as a stall, or you're just maintaining. Now, I know for me, for a very long time, I was on a steady weight. I guess you could call it a stall, but I was losing weight. I was losing measurements and my clothes were getting really big on me, but the weight was staying the same. After doing all this research and taking these courses and all the things that I have learned that a lot of times your body composition is changing, but the weight doesn't always show it on the scale. So if you haven't already, do it today. Get yourself a tape measure, measure your body, write it down, write the date, super important, and then keep track. And if you are still staying that same number on the scale, but you're losing inches and your clothes are getting bigger, it's working. It's working. Don't worry about that number. But if you are getting on that scale and your measurements are staying the same, your clothes aren't getting looser, and you're doing this, you're sticking to this, then you are probably at a stall. And so I'm going to talk to you about some different things that I think cause a stall and what you can do about it to break the stall. So the number one thing that I have here on my list that can break a stall is dairy products. If you watch my videos, you will see that I use cheese. I eat cheese in my recipes and I drink heavy cream. But I did learn just maybe, 6 months or so ago, I learned that I was consuming too much cheese and too much heavy cream, and I started measuring everything out and cutting back, and that's when I started noticing a difference on the scale. So dairy or too much dairy can cause a stall. If you have a lot of weight to lose, I would recommend for a while to just cut out dairy, cut out cheese, cut out the heavy cream, cut out all of those things and see if that doesn't break your stall. For a lot of people, it will. Also, a lot of people can be bothered health-wise by dairy, and it can cause inflammation in their bodies, and it can cause your body to hold on to inflammation. So just cutting out for a while, you might notice some changes in your health too. The next thing I have on here is cutting back on nuts. Now, when I first started the keto diet, I have learned a lot over the past 2 years. I was telling one of my clients yesterday that I was talking to on the phone. When I first started keto, if you watched 2 years ago, my YouTube videos, I definitely used a lot more nuts in my videos. I also added a lot more butter to things. I thought that I could get away with all of those things and lose weight. And I still was losing weight, but it was very slow. So some of you may watch some of my earlier videos and you will see that I've evolved a little bit along the way. I've learned. And so it has changed a little bit. Nuts, I hardly ever eat them anymore. In fact, yesterday I did a collab video with Hope from Mission Keto. It was a very fun collab video, but I used almond flour in my sausage pinwheels, and I really didn't want to use the almond flour. I was very apprehensive because I just haven't been using almond flour lately, but I used it anyways because I wanted this to come out, I wanted a nice appetizer for Thanksgiving. And afterwards, for all of you who watched that video, I haven't tried this yet, but I'm like, duh, why didn't I use my crispy breading that I have? I use that in everything. My crispy breading is crushed pork rinds and chicken flour and some Parmesan cheese, and it's all ground up together. And I was like, why didn't I try that instead of the almond flour? It would have brought the carb count a lot lower. So I'm going to try that, and I'll let you guys know the difference in flavor and everything. I think it might be really good because the flour, my dog is snoring, my crispy breading is very savory. And so I think it would be great. So I think today I'm going to try making those sausage pinwheels again. And I'll let you know, maybe not today, I might be making it tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how time goes. But I'll let you know the difference And so nuts can really cause you to stall if you eat a lot of nuts. I recommend if you like nuts and you want to use them in moderation and use them in like as a garnish. If you want to have maybe some crunch to your yogurt, just have 3 or 4 nuts and chop them up fine and put them in there, and have them that way instead of just sitting with a bag of nuts, because they can really be overdone. I will let you know how the sausage pinwheels turn out. I can't believe that I didn't think of that. I really did not want to use the almond flour, and then I had like this aha moment last night. So if you haven't made it yet, hold off, and I'll let you know how it turns out with my crispy breading. It will be a lot lower in carbs, and it actually will be carnivore friendly, I think. So, all right. So if you're a carnivore who has cheese. Okay, so the next thing is cut back on artificial sweeteners. Now, artificial sweeteners are different than the natural sweeteners that I talked about earlier. They are like aspartame, sucralose, like Splenda. All of those are artificially made sweeteners, and they can cause you to have a weight loss stall. Also, make sure you're hitting your protein goal every single day. If you don't know what your protein goal should be, everybody's is different, depends on your weight and your height and your age and your inches of your body and all of that. You can go online and find a macro calculator, or you can go to my website and I can calculate your macros for you. I'll just send you an email with the information that I need and I calculate them, and then I just send it to you. It's a very low nominal fee for that. Once you learn what your protein should be, a lot of people aren't eating as much protein as they're supposed to be, and especially us women, and it is an eye opener. And it is hard to hit that goal when you're not used to eating that much protein. So it's important to hit your protein goal. The next one this is a big one. Okay, so this one is one that I learned, I don't know how many, I guess maybe close to a year ago, once I started taking all these coaching courses. This is when I learned it. My first year of keto, I thought, high fat, I'm going to eat all the fats that I want, and I'm going to do great on this. And so here's what I recommend. This is me personally. Everybody out there sees it differently, but this is what I recommend. I recommend that when you first start out on a keto diet, you can eat the fats that you want. When I talk about fats, I mean butter, coconut oil, bacon grease, adding all of these extra fats to your food, fat bombs. The extra fat, when you transition to a keto diet, your body has to become fat adapted, and it takes a little while for that all to happen. So during that first few weeks, you can experience hunger, and that extra fat in your diet, adding extra butter on your steak and all of that, is going to help keep you full. All right. But once you get fat adapted and you're going strong at this thing and your hunger has decreased, that's a big sign that you're fat adapted, that you're not eating as much, your hunger has really decreased, and you're just feeling great. I recommend at that time to back off a little bit. I'm not saying that fat is bad, okay? Back off a little bit on all the added fats, adding all that butter and stuff on top of all your foods, because that ribeye or that 80-20 hamburger that you're eating has fat in it, and that's good. Your body needs that fat, but if you want your body to burn your fat stores, your body fat, then once you stop adding all that extra fat and you just eat the fat that comes along with the meat that you're eating, the chicken skins, all of that, eat all of that. But I'm talking about adding all the extra toppings of fat, sour creams and the butters and all of that. Once you stop doing all of that, your body will start to burn your fat on your body. And that's what we're wanting, right? We want our body fat to be burned as fuel. So starting out, first maybe month or so, eat fat. Add fat to everything. That will help you get through that hunger. Then once your body starts to get fat adapted, then cut back on adding all the extra fats, all right? I do still have fat like in my coffee. I will have sometimes butter in my coffee. Sometimes I will put heavy cream in my coffee. And that is fat, but I don't put as much as I used to. I used to put a lot. And now I've just put a little bit, just enough to make it good, you know. Just doing that has made me lose more weight. Now, if I dropped all of that and I stopped doing all of that, would I lose weight faster? Probably. But I'm happy with the speed that my body is losing right now. I don't want to lose weight super fast. I'm happy with, you know, it going like it is. I'm kind of happy where I'm at right now. So I do add a little bit of those things to my coffee and that, but not near as much as I used to, just like the cheese and all of that. I don't add near as much as I used to. Then once you get to your goal, you're like, okay, I'm done here. I'm thin enough. I don't need to lose any more weight. Then you can start adding more butter on your steak again. You just have to watch it, because if you do it excessively, you're going to start to gain weight again, my little baby. But if you slowly add it, you'll get to where you realize where your maintenance mode is, where you're staying about the same weight. You use that fat as a tool, okay? All right, so the next thing is, this I highly recommend. I did a challenge for, what was it, September, I believe. I think it was September. I did a 0 carb challenge. And 3 days a week for the month of September, I did 0 carb days. And basically they were just carnivore days. For those days, I only basically ate meat and animal products. And we did that for a month. And I can't remember, I should remember, but I lost like 8 or 9 pounds that month, just doing 3 carnivore days and 4 regular keto days, staying under 20 total carbs. So if you're at a stall right now and you're not losing in your inches and your clothes size, nothing's working, go to my videos. It's in my playlist. It is called the 0 Carb Challenge. Look it up, follow those videos, and 3 days a week, or you could even do 1 or 2 days a week, and just do days where you're only eating animal, like meat, basically. And I ate during that time. I used spices on my food during that time, and you know, I used a little bit. I had eggs on those days, which eggs have a little tiny bit of carbs in them. So I didn't stay exactly 0 carb, but it was very close. So that is a great way to break a stall, just doing that. Also, if you're having a hard time, track your macros. Go on Carb Manager or another app and track it. A lot of times we're eating more carbs if we're not keeping track than we think we are. So that's another way to tell. Intermittent fasting really helps. Me and my husband love intermittent fasting. It is, I don't know what time it is right now. It's probably about 11 or 12, almost time for us to eat our first meal. We don't start eating till about noon, and we stop eating at 6 p.m. And we don't eat the rest of the time is our fasting time. And we just like it. We like not going to bed with a heavy stomach. We like waking up and just waiting to eat. We have our black coffee in the morning and we do fine. So that's another way, something else you could try. Another thing is prioritizing your sleep. A lot of us don't get enough sleep, and sleep can really affect your weight loss. So do what you can to try to get some good sleep. I know that that's hard for, you know, that's a hard situation for a lot of people, but do what you can. Then working out lowers your stress levels. It really helps you to burn calories. And so working out is another great option. If you're not working out and you're at a stall, you can try that. And I have 2 more things here and I'll be done. The next one is keep track of your non-scale victories. The way your clothes fit, the way your measurements are, the way you feel. Are you feeling energetic? Are your different ailments that are going on, are they improving? Is your health improving? If those things are all happening, the weight loss is going to come. I tell my clients sometimes that are having a hard time with losing weight. They're doing all the things that they're doing. Sometimes when you start this, your body needs a healing period before it even starts to drop weight. It needs to go through just healing, a time of, getting rid of all the stuff that we've put in our bodies all these years. It takes a little time. So that leads to my next one, and that is be patient. The body sometimes uses your energy to heal. So I already said that. And sometimes this, that can slow our weight loss. So I hope those little tips help you. Write them all down and go through them and see if you're having a stall. If you are having a stall, you might not be even having a stall. You might discover that you're actually changing the composition of your body and you're doing great. So that's all I have for right now. I'm going to go ahead and go into the kitchen and make us something to eat, and I'll show you what we're having, and I'll also be showing you what we eat throughout the day today. I'll see you soon. All right, so we are having our first meal, and I made BLTs. This is mine, and this is Ed's. He's having two, and those look so good. These are savory. These are savory chaffles. The recipe is over on my website. Savory chaffle is what it's called. And it is cheddar cheese, eggs, and garlic powder, and salt, and forgetting something. Oh, crumbled bacon. And so that's what's in these. And then we just have the traditional mayonnaise, tomato, lettuce, and bacon. And it looks delicious. So we're gonna go ahead and eat these while they're nice and fresh and hot. And I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so it is time to eat dinner. It is getting dark outside a lot earlier. And so it's a little dark in here, but it is only 10 after 5. And we're having our last meal for today. I made tacos, and I made taco meat, and I'm having a taco bowl here. You can see Ed's already got his over there. I just got some cheese on here with some guacamole and sour cream and a little bit of salsa. And so that's my meal for tonight. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for tonight because we have to get ready for tomorrow for Ed's appointment. So, woohoo, can't wait to find out that surgery date. So help us pray that tomorrow we'll find a date, we'll get a date from the surgeon, and we can get going with this thing, and he can start the real recovery process. So we will update you on what's going on. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, and give us a thumbs up. I'll see you soon. Have a great day, and God bless.